Alright guys, today I got a 2001 Ford Taurus, and it's got a rattling, scraping noise under the hood, and it kind of goes away a little bit when you put the AC on, and also it sounds like a bell type noise. It's all come from under the hood there whenever the engine started, and I'm going to show you what the problem is and how to fix it right now. And the noise they'll make is this bell type noise, and that's from all the rattling metal against the actual pulley here, which is the bell type noise. See if I can do it. You see this one's really separated. And be one heck of a noise. You'll definitely notice it and be able to pinpoint it to this area if you're having this concern. This is very common on the 12 valve and 24 valve AC compressors, where they'll actually disintegrate like this and start coming apart. So we're going to change it out today. I'm going to show you step by step how to remove the compressor. Alright, so the first thing we got to do on here obviously is pull the belt off, and 15mm box end wrench down here on the actual bolt in the center of the pulley of the tensioner down there where it's at right now. Works great on these. And then get an extension type box end and just pull on it, and you can ride it along the side of the coolant bottle here and it'll stabilize it. And then you can pop it off of there, your belt. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the ground, and we're going to isolate it because we're going to be bungeeing the actual junction box out of the way to slip the compressor through this area. So we're going to disconnect the negative to be safe and isolate it with a rag of sorts. Be extra safe. I don't like arcing and sparking. And then over here, hopefully you can see this, there's little tabs right here, and you're going to put a flat blade screwdriver of sorts in there and bring them back like that, and then we're going to pull this all the way out of here and flip it off to the side, and I'll show you that here in a second. So you release the one, pull up, and then release this one, and same thing, pull up. It's stuck in there just a bit, and then you're going to pull out of the way like this and bungee so it stands up like that. Back over here by the AC compressor itself, there's a high pressure switch right here where it's going to disconnect the electrical connector and get it up and out of the way. And then the next thing we got to do is evac the system of all refrigerant so we can take the compressor out. And because the next step we got to do is take that bolt, that 10mm bolt right there, that bolts the AC manifold onto the actual compressor, and then we can start going after the actual bolts on the compressor itself. Alright, so once our system is evac'd and our bolt is out, our 10mm bolt for this manifold, you can see it simply slides back and it's out of the way, and it's loose now, but it's not too loose. It's still tethered by this big suction line right here, and the best way to get that out of the way so you can pull the compressor out is to follow it over here, pull this clip off of here, get it off to the side, and then use one of these fuel line disconnect tools right here, the 3/4 inch one, and pop that on there on the back side here, push it in, and then we'll be able to wiggle this off of here. It's going to be pretty tight on there because it has 3 O-rings on there. And now you can see the whole thing is just flopping around, almost like it's totally ready to come off, but it has the high pressure line on there. But for right now, it'll be able to move out of the way as needed to slide that compressor out when we get it past here. Underneath here, we need to pull this shield off right here. There's a couple 8mm bolts right here, and then 5.5mm along the length of it here. And we'll take that off, we'll have access to the compressor then. With that shield removed, you can now see the 2 connectors right here for the O2 sensors. We're going to disconnect them, we're going to get them off this bracket, and then we're going to take out the 2 13mm bolts for the actual AC compressor. And one last connection down here is the actual clutch field coil connector right here. Pull down this tab very gently. It does get brittle over the years, and then it should slide right off of there. Now this bolt over here will come fully out. You just gotta wiggle it enough and it'll get past the harnesses and stuff. That'll come out with the bracket, and this one will get stuck on the actual fans. So when you go up top and pull the fans out, that's the next step. We'll be able to pull this out fully from the top. Alright, now to get the fans out, looking at the fans from the engine here, we're going to start taking out all these little harnesses that connect into the fans. They're little push pins. Use your cat claw, trim tool, and then we're all free. We just got to disconnect them from the actual fan right here. And the way that you actually release the fan connectors, there's a hole right here. Push a screwdriver through there, release the clip, and then you pull on the connector itself. At the same time, you'll pull them out. As far as the fans go themselves, there's one 8mm bolt on the very top of them. Take that out. And pull it out of there, like that. And then they simply wiggle up and out of here. Just be careful not to damage them. Alright, we got much better lighting now. There's a harness right here for all those connectors we undid down there for the O2 sensors and the clutch and all that stuff. Those should all be free down there. Undo it from the bracket up here, and we get this whole harness up and out of the way. And we just take more and more stuff away from the compressor itself, and we can get it out of there much easier. Next thing we want to do is pull that bolt down here. I still will get later once the fans are out. Get that one out of the way. And then we can start working on getting these two bolts out. Get this one all the way out of there, and then this one I believe gets stuck in there, and it comes out with the compressor. So we're going to do that one last. We're just going to loosen it, and we're going to take this one fully out. They're both the same thing, 13mm, as the ones down below. Now before we pull that last bolt out for the AC compressor, take your fan harness right here and tuck it into here behind the shroud by the radiator right here, and we'll get it out of the way because we're going to be pulling the compressor, sneaking it past and going down right through this area, so you want it as clear as possible. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. The plan is to unbolt the last bolt, squeeze it through here, push the hose right here, the upper radiator hose, out of the way, and then pull it up right out of here. Last bolt, it's hanging by a thread. There we go. And work it through here. Like I said, try to get that in the harness here, and watch out for your actual radiator fins, because you can definitely hit them and puncture them very easy. This one's a lot easier to pull out than the 24 valve docks, and it comes right out. So installation on this one is very simple. It's just a reversal of removal. If you took your compressor off of there for that clutch hub and pulley issue, I have a whole separate video on how to rebuild all those components of the AC compressor, and I didn't want it getting lost inside of this video, so I made it separate, and that'll show you how to do all that without damaging anything, and you kind of rebuild it and save yourself a little bit of money. So hopefully this helps. I know it's late in the season, but I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, and this one just happened to come in, so I captured it on video. It's a really common issue, like I said, and I'm sure it'll help someone, because a lot of states, their AC requirement goes well into October, and believe it or not, in the winter, your AC compressor actually comes on in defrost mode because it wants to have that drying effect of the AC compressor. So you do use it during winter. What better time to fix it is when it's nice and cool out now in early fall, and get it taken care of.